That is paneer butter masala, perfection. This is dairy on dairy on dairy. Serve with a little bit of chopped onion and a fresh wedge of lime and become the favourite person in the lives of all of your loved ones. This video will be 2 steps, so we're going to prepare the paneer and then we're going to cook out the butter masala. The one process I'm not showing is the making of paneer. If you are somewhere where you can buy fresh paneer, go ahead, feel free. I always like to make my paneer even when I'm in India because it tastes different. I'm going to put a link below to show you how to make paneer. I have a video on that. Unlike butter chicken, I don't pre-marinate the paneer because what I'm actually going to do is pre-fry it, and the pre-frying is going to allow the paneer to hold its form. So I have some vegetable oil left over from frying pakora, so I'm going to reuse. You want it to be very hot, but not so hot that it's smoking. Once the oil starts to smoke, it means that the paneer is going to essentially burn as soon as it hits the oil. Now, as part of cooking paneer or deep frying paneer, we'll prepare a bowl of cold water to keep by the stovetop, and that water is how we strain off the oil and keep the fried paneer soft for the next step. All right. And I've got to be careful, this paneer is a little bit crumbly. If you were to drain paneer on a paper towel or kitchen towel or whatever, it would retain quite a lot of oil. And because paneer has really delicate flavour, you want the paneer to retain its subtlety and delicacy, and you have to remove oil for that. Oil creates a film between your palate and the experience of taste. So if there's a film between your palate and a delicate product like paneer, your chances of tasting the paneer are lessened. There's always like function with masala. Sort of why techniques over time, like traditional techniques, are maintained, because they're effective. We are into the second phase of butter paneer masala, which means creating the butter masala. So the ingredients is the same as for a butter chicken. So what we're going to work with is start with the yogurt. This is dairy on dairy on dairy. But we're going to do half a cup, around about, actually 1 cup of yogurt. 2 tablespoons of garlic and ginger paste, fresh garlic and ginger paste. This is a really important element because it provides acidity. Garlic and ginger in a paste like this has this really, it has an acidic interaction with the masala. When you make any sort of butter masala, you want it to have, well for me anyway, I want it to have char and acid and smoke, otherwise it just feels flaccid and heavy. So to me that's key. Salt similarly will drive the flavour. I'm going to use a bit of a mix. Teaspoon of lake salt, which is hard. Half a teaspoon of a white sea salt. Shy half a teaspoon of Indian black salt. And then just like a pinch of pink salt, which seems like a lot, but there's going to be a lot of ingredient in here. There's the paneer, there's the yogurt, there's tomato paste, there's butter, there's cream. Actually, with that in mind, I'm actually going to put half a teaspoon of pink salt in there. So that's all in. Chili, again, an important factor. So we do like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of Kashmiri chili powder and a tablespoon of a hot red chili. Teaspoon of turmeric powder. 2 tablespoons of coriander powder. A tablespoon of ginger powder, and then a teaspoon of garam masala, and this is our Kashmiri garam masala recipe. Last but definitely not least is fresh lime. The lime in the marinade is a really valuable acidity. Limes are great because they're sort of sour and sweet. Carefully, because paneer, even when it's fried, is a little fragile. We're going to mix this through. Oh, it smells good. Now you could marinate this for a couple of hours. Paneer isn't meat protein, so the marinade won't affect the paneer in the same way that it affects the chicken protein, primarily because the chicken protein is raw, and when you have lime in a marinade with yogurt, which also has gentle acidic structure, what you're doing is you're, excuse the word, but you're manifesting masala into the raw protein by creating an interaction between the acid and the raw flesh. Paneer won't do that in the same way because it's cooked in order to make it, and then it's cooked again, fried again in order to keep it together. So we're going to char this in a kadai or a cast iron, any kind of cast iron griddle, wok, barbecue surface, without any fats or oils, because I do want the smoke and char. While I'm waiting for this to heat, I am going to gather the last of the ingredients, which is butter, tomato paste, cream, and the fenugreek leaf. This has been heating, and you can see how it's smoky. That is perfect. I'm going to layer it so it's not piled on top of each other, but the paneer is flat, so it's browning. The combination of high heat, no oil and smoke means that that charred, smoky essence is translating itself into the paneer. And then when we create the butter masala, the paneer is going to carry smoke into it. So let it stick. See that? That black is good. That may be. Ooh, that is good. Wow. What I will say is that because we're dealing with paneer and not chicken, the masala is way punchier. Like, it's really, really good. That's perfect. Right, now, what we're going to do is cook off the last of this. You don't want to waste it. Cook this off. With a tablespoon of butter and a little bit of tomato paste to start. We're going to put the paneer back in. We're going to add 500 grams of passata with a little bit of water. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't need to be cooked in the way that chicken needs to be cooked. Let me turn it down just a fraction. It's very smoky. Okay, at this point we're adding a lot of butter. This is criminally rich. Now's when you check the balance of seasoning. So before we add any cream or methi or garam masala, just want to make sure it's the tomato needs to cook out a little bit, but it's pretty good. Also, don't forget that methi as a dried leaf spice, or a forest floor spice, as we call it in the world of masala, or in my world of masala, is responsible for moving heavy flavour along. So it will actually attack some of the weight of the tomato paste and move it around, so we don't have to kind of worry about it sitting too heavy. Cream, because that's what makes butter masala, and a final touch, or half a teaspoon, of garam masala. Just creates a little more mood. It's like turning the dimmer switch on. That is just delicious. It's a little creamier than the chicken version. Oh, but wait, here it comes. There comes the spice. Oh, it's just smoky and rich, and has this really sort of craggy, earthy, like I'm clinging to the side of a rock face, just being blasted by epic flavour. That's what it tastes like. And the contrast with the paneer actually almost accelerates that. That is paneer butter masala perfection. Serve with a little bit of chopped onion and a fresh wedge of lime, and become the favourite person in the lives of all of your loved ones.